Arachnophobia no more. How a prank helped one man overcome his fear of spiders. Once upon a time, there was a man named Jim who had a serious fear of spiders. He couldn't even look at a picture of a spider without breaking out in a cold sweat. Needless to say, this phobia made his life quite challenging. One day, Jim was sitting in his office when he saw something out of the corner of his eye. He turned to look and saw a massive spider crawling across his desk. Jim let out a blood-curdling scream and leapt out of his chair, knocking over everything on his desk in the process. His coworkers rushed over to see what was wrong, only to find Jim cowering in the corner, shaking and muttering something about a spider. His coworkers tried to comfort him and reassure him that there was nothing to be afraid of, but Jim was inconsolable. The next day, Jim's coworkers decided to play a little prank on him. They bought a plastic spider and attached it to a string, then snuck into his office and dangled the spider in front of him. As soon as Jim saw the spider, he let out another scream and dove under his desk. His coworkers couldn't help but laugh at the sight of poor Jim cowering in fear. But the joke was on them. As they were laughing, they failed to notice that the plastic spider had fallen off the string and was now crawling across the floor. Suddenly, they all realized that they were surrounded by dozens of real, live spiders. In their panic, they ran out of the office and into the hallway, screaming and flailing their arms. They attracted quite a bit of attention from the other employees, who had no idea what was going on. After a few minutes of chaos, one brave soul managed to capture all of the spiders and release them outside. Jim's coworkers sheepishly admitted that the spider prank had gone a bit too far, and they promised to never do anything like that again. As for Jim, he was grateful to have his coworkers' support and understanding. They may have played a prank on him, but they also showed him that they cared about his well-being and were willing to help him overcome his fear. From that day on, Jim made a concerted effort to face his fear of spiders. He even took a few spider handling classes and learned how to hold a tarantula without freaking out. It wasn't easy, but Jim knew that he had to conquer his fear if he ever wanted to truly be free of it. And as for his coworkers? They learned a valuable lesson about the dangers of pranking someone who has a phobia. From that day on, they stuck to harmless pranks like fart sprays and whoopee cushions. As time went on, Jim's fear of spiders began to fade. He was no longer terrified at the sight of a spider, and he could even tolerate them in his presence. But his coworkers still loved to tease him about his former fear. One day, they decided to play another prank on Jim. They carefully placed a fake spider in his coffee mug, so that when he went to take a sip, he would see the spider and freak out. But little did they know, Jim had caught on to their pranking ways. He had suspected something was up and had been keeping an eye out for any suspicious behavior. As he went to take a sip of his coffee, he saw the fake spider and couldn't help but laugh. He turned to his coworkers and said, "Nice try, guys. But I'm not falling for that one again." His coworkers were impressed by Jim's newfound bravery and humor. They realized that their pranks had unintentionally helped him face his fear and become a stronger, more confident person. From that day on, Jim's coworkers no longer teased him about his fear of spiders. Instead, they supported him and encouraged him to continue facing his fears and trying new things. And as for Jim? He felt grateful to have such wonderful coworkers who not only made him laugh, but also helped him become a better person. He knew that he had come a long way since the day he first screamed at the sight of a spider, and he was excited to see what other challenges he could conquer in the future. The end. Please subscribe, like and share for more videos. Thank you for watching.